We laid my husband to rest this morning. By nightfall, a knock echoed through the house. Not just any knock, his knock. I'd know it anywhere. My blood went cold. My husband was at the door. They buried my husband at sunrise. The red earth of our land swallowed him whole. I remember the chill in the air, a dampness that seeped right into my bones. I stood there, watching them lower the wooden coffin. I reached down, my fingers curling into the mud. I felt it crumble in my own hand, cold and heavy, and then I let it fall. The thud of that first handful of earth hitting the wood, it was a final, terrible goodbye. A door slamming shut on my entire world. Obinna, he was my life. Not just a part of it, he was the foundation. Do you know what it's like to have a sunrise wrapped in a person? His laughter would light up the whole compound. His dreams, they became my own. We were going to build a bigger house, right here on this land. We were going to fill it with the sounds of children. The preacher said the words, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The women wailed, their cries rising to the sky. But to me, it was all just noise, muffled, distant noise. Because all I could hear was the silence he left behind. A deep, hollow silence that had already started to echo in my chest. By nightfall, that silence wasn't just an absence of sound. It had become a living thing. It followed me from room to room. It sat in his favorite chair, the one by the window where he'd read the paper. I could almost see the shape of it. It wore his old shirts, the ones that still carried the faint, fading scent of him. I moved through our home like I was the ghost, not him. My own footsteps were too loud. The air was still thick with the scent of the funeral stew. Ofenesala, his favorite. I had cooked it for the mourners, but the smell lingered. A cruel and taunting memory of a life that was no more. A feast for a man who was no longer here to eat it. So I made it again. I don't know why. A foolish, grieving woman's ritual. Maybe it was hope. A desperate, childish hope that somehow his spirit would catch the scent on the wind and know that he was still loved. That I was here, waiting. I didn't know then. I didn't understand the old stories. I thought they were just stories. I didn't know that for the dead, the sense of smell is not a memory. It is a call. And then I heard it. Not the wind, teasing the iron sheets on the roof. Not a stray dog, rustling in the bushes. This was solid, deliberate.
The kind of firm, patient knock he used to make when his hands were full of firewood and he needed me to open the door for him. My heart stopped. It wasn't just the sound, it was him. I knew it in my soul before my mind could even form the thought. It was Obinna, not a ghost, not a memory. He was here, on the other side of that door. I reached for the latch, my hand trembling. The cold metal under my fingers was the most real thing I had ever felt. This was happening. I was about to let my dead husband back into our home. I steadied my mind, opened the door and let him inside. He majestically walked into the house, his dark, hollow eyes resting on me as if he hadn't seen me in years. A slow, unsettling smile crept across his face and, without speaking, he drifted behind me as I led him toward our humble dining room. He sat at our table. I fed him. I gave him the meal I had prepared for his own wake. He ate. His movements were mechanical, like a clockwork toy. He brought the spoon to his lips, but he did not taste. There was no pleasure in his eyes, no satisfaction. He spoke. He said my name. He said he missed me. But his voice, it had no breath behind it. It was flat, like a stone dropped into a deep well. He was a photograph of my husband, a beautiful fading echo. And then, as the first hint of dawn touched the sky, painting it grey, he was just gone. No goodbye, no fading away. He was there, and then he wasn't. The silence rushed back in, louder than ever. But on the table, where he had been sitting, sat the empty bowl. A tangible proof. It was real. It had happened. And in my foolish, desperate heart, a new dangerous hope began to bloom. Maybe he would come back again tomorrow.
This is only the beginning. What lurks in the shadows will soon be revealed. The saga unfolds in part 2.